Hello, everybody, and welcome into this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter for Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aidan Champion. The first round of the NBA draft just wrapped up, and as expected, Michigan State's freshman sensation, Jase Richardson, was selected. He went number 25 to the Orlando Magic. Jase's father, Spartan legend Jason Richardson, of course, had a little stint in Orlando in the early 2010s, played 109 games with the Magic, and the legacy carries on to the NBA for the Richardson family. Um, Chase obviously had a tremendous first season with Michigan, or lone season with Michigan State. Was a third team All Big Ten freshman team. Probably would have been at least a second team All Big Ten guy had he had a full season of starting, or at least close to that. It wasn't until, of course, that around the second half of the season that Jace really came on, starting with that phenomenal career game against Oregon when he dropped 29 points in what was his first ever start, which is a memory that Spartan fans will always cherish. But looking at the first round as a whole, Big Ten showed out, represented just as expected. Eight selections, eight players from the Big Ten were selected in the first round, starting with, of course, the two Rutgers freshmen. Um, Dylan Harper went number two to the Spurs, of course, after Cooper Flagg went to the Dallas Mavericks. Um, and then Ace Bailey went to the Jazz at number five. And then a familiar name that Spartan fans would know, Jeremiah Fears, went number seven to the New Orleans Pelicans. Of course, he's the younger brother of Jeremy Fears, and Jeremy was there at the draft with Jeremiah, was the first person that he hugged. Obviously, Jeremiah uh, was there because he got an invite to the green room, and Jace did not get a green room invite. Again, just one of the few things, that have been a testament to Jace being overlooked. Was he was a four-star prospect. Um, I mean, a lot of people would say he shouldn't have fallen to 25. Uh, it wasn't until the combine that he started um, being projected in the 20s range, maybe late teens. Um, Before, a lot of people were considering Jace a lottery pick, but his height was a knock against him. Um, his reliance on his left hand, his questions of his versatility, if he could run the point or if he was strictly a shooting guard. Um, there were some factors that hurt his stock a bit, but nonetheless, Chase ends up at 25, and I'm sure he is going to prove the doubters wrong. I think he's a great fit for the Magic. They're a team on the rise. They're a young team, so I think he fits that, what they're building there. And I think he's, right off the bat, probably going to be um, a solid contributor for them. And I'm sure he'll find success while in Orlando. But looking at the rest of the draft, um, Michigan State fans we're probably happy to see Michigan's Danny Wolf fall two spots behind Jace at 27 to the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, he was one of the eight Big Ten players to be selected, and um, there was a lot of strong talent in the Big Ten this year, particularly young guys. And we kind of knew at the start of the year which ones were probably going to be first round picks. We didn't know Jase was going to be. It wasn't until Jase started coming on around the second half of the season that he, was gaining national attention. And it was the most bizarre, sudden change where all of a sudden we were seeing him on draft boards and or mock drafts, and I, it really was fun, and that was a word that Izzo used to describe it. It was fun. The season Jace had just going into the year of that year, of course, Michigan State didn't have a clear go-to scorer, and it became Jace. And I don't think many people saw that coming. Uh, and he was instrumental in their run, both to a Big Ten title and um, their tournament run to the Elite Eight. And I know fans were disappointed to see him leave, but ultimately he made his decision, and um, he's the first Spartan to be drafted in the first round since Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges in 2018. Is the first Spartan one and done since Max Christie. So once again, Michigan State sends a player to the NBA, another Tom Izzo player who I'm sure will find much success at the next level, just as many of Tom's players have. Um, now Michigan State has to survive, adapt without Jason. I think they'll be able to. Uh, may not reach that same level of success as last year, but I don't think it's something where they completely fall apart. I know the Glenn injury doesn't help, but I think this team will still be competing for a Big Ten title. I don't think they win it again, but will certainly be among the teams at the top fighting for it. But um, this was this had to be fun for Spartan fans to have um, a projected first rounder. It's been a while, and finally, Michigan State fans, for those who aren't avid NBA followers, could tune in with excitement and eagerness to watch where one of theirs was selected. But um, but yeah, no, I think Jace will have an immediate impact for Orlando, and it'll be fun once again to watch him at the next level. So, with all that said, um, NBA draft picks back up tomorrow, but but the first round has concluded, and Jase Richardson, the next Spartan to go to the NBA. Thank you all, as always, for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great conclusion to your week and are looking forward to the weekend. Appreciate your engagement as always, and we will catch you next time. Thanks, everyone.